Welcome to Black Nouveau. This is our edition for December 17th, 2014. I'm Joanne Williams. This week we focus on the arts, history, and holidays. We have profiles of Milwaukee's special violinist and songwriter, Sonya Robinson. We'll introduce you to community historian Irene Goggans. And we'll visit one place that can help you shed those extra holiday pounds, the Workout Express. But let's begin with a tour of Helen Gee's home and her collection of holiday ornaments. Liddy Collins has that story.
And she is fiber optic. And she's African American with her braid and everything. I think I found her in Sacramento, California.
I was going to ask you, where did you get
Sacramento. My ornaments have to jump out at me. I won't buy any kind of ornament. It has to make a statement.
I like this right here.
This is my special tree. I've been offered lots of money for it. And
do you take a picture of it and put it up the same, or you just remember how you had it?
I don't take a picture to put it up the same because I feel all of God creation, you see a tree, it's not perfect. So I just let it flow.
This is the Helen Gee household, where the Christmas holiday is alive and well. Since 1988, Helen has been doing crafts and creating Christmas decorations, and yes, collecting Santas. But her collection is intact.
I might not have quite as much, but they will always be part of me.
What was behind you starting this whole decorating?
It really started when my husband and I had our first child. We didn't see anything in the stores that represented who we were. So I started creating my own black Santas, black dolls, black whatever. Not that I had anything against what was in the store, but I wanted our whole household to represent us. I also like to do Christmas because of my deceased son. My deceased son was the type of guy that always complimented me on everything I did, what I wore, and everything. So when he died, I really kind of threw myself into doing more. And thank God for a good husband. He allowed me to do this. And so it just became almost like a ritual.
Was this a nurturing process to get you over your son or help heal?
I really do believe so. So when he passed, August 19, 1988, I couldn't figure out how I was going to get through Christmas. So I decorated even more. I try to decorate and I go back and I reflect on what it was like when he was here, how he enjoyed Christmas. So I think, yes, it was a healing process for me. His and her Santa on the left side, they all have arthritis in there now. If you hear the squeaky bones and things, the one by the door, I think they were some of the first ones I bought. And this guy here is about, on the fireplace, I would say he's about maybe 10 to 15 years old.
The Christmas tree is a family tree. Her two deceased sisters are each represented by an angel.
And this one here, this is represent my sister Jean, who had cancer.
Oh, she has no.
And I took all her hair off. Most of the angels, she's from this family, they have hair. But I took it off because Jean was having a hard time accepting her baldness.
Okay.
And this year, I have added another angel to my collection. This is Essie. My sister Essie died in February this year, and she was 86 years and 5 months. So I only had 2 sisters. I had 5 brothers, but this represents my 2 sisters, Essie and Jean.
Is this like having your family right here with you?
Yes, yes. I got to figure out how to put my 5 brothers up there. I
don't know how they're going to do that one.
Well, I started with 1.
There's one.
Helen's children are grown, and she now has grandchildren. But she says the biggest child of all is herself.
I love Christmas. I love just the festivity of it. I love having, we do what is called, I think my husband called it pop-in. Christmas Eve, this has been tradition for us for the last 35, 40 years, maybe even longer.
This pop-in consists of gumbo, family, and friends.
We have sometime up to 40 people on Christmas Eve. And I guess I give credit to my husband because just about every night when the party is over, the pot is empty.
What suggestions would you give to people to start their own holiday traditions?
First, I would say find something that you have a passion for. And it doesn't take a lots of money. It takes time, which is something that we have very little of today. I don't know if it's the choices or what, but it takes time. And it just giving of yourself. Start a tradition that you can involve your family in. I suggest to our children, our granddaughters who are both married, you know, you have a blended family now. Always let grandma and grandpa know if we are infringing on your time with your other side of the family, because you have to learn to cooperate. You have to learn to share and make changes. Don't be just so set on a certain time or a place. Christmas is the birth of Christ. It's not about all the material things in the world that we seem to think keep us moving forward today. It's about love. It's about sharing. It's about family ties. It's about giving of yourself. And I feel if you can just start in a small way and take the focus off of money and replace it with time, I think you can start your own tradition.
There's so much to do. I wonder if the toys are ready. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I want everybody to know, as is often said, telephone, telegram, or tell Irene. I want the world to know of our rich and beautiful heritage, wonderful people I remember.
Irene Goggans is a community historian. She's been saving photographs, newspaper clippings, and programs for more than 70 years. Stories of almost everyone she meets, and she has met so many.
This has been pretty much going on for as long as I can remember. I can remember albums, photo albums being in the house since I was a kid, really.
Her only child, Kenny, said Irene was the neighborhood mom, the woman who welcomed all the other kids into her home and supported organizations like the Boy Scouts and the Northside YMCA.
This actually shows the dedication or the laying of the cornerstone of the Y at 12th and North Avenue.
1964.
In Garfield.
But the amazing part of this history collection is not just the thousands of pictures and documents that are tucked away in every corner of her apartment, but that the index for them all is her. Irene remembers almost every face and family in each picture.
This is called the Old Phalanx Club at the YMCA. This is Oscar Young, Russell Bowers, Idas Lewis, Billy Saunders, Lawrence Saunders, J.C. Thomas, Vincent Bevernew. There's Lincoln Gaines, C.L. Johnson, and there's your father, John Williamson, Harry Gardner, Pat Goggans, Clarence Jackson, Bill Mosby, Eugene Bell, Sanford Carter.
That's her passion. She loves the historical side of a whole lot of things. She wants you to come into her home, and the archive would be you, her bringing the book out, her showing you a picture, and then her giving you a 3-hour story. That you know, that's what needs to be archived. You know, just her conversation. She loves to interact with people.
Her husband, Pat Goggans, supported her passion. After all, what else could he do?
I don't know, but I know that my husband, I read the newspaper with the scissors in my hand, and in the evening maybe he would be going to read Journal or Sentinel or something, and he would turn to a page and there would be a great big space there where I cut it out. And he asked me if I could please. I said, well, I thought you had read the paper. I would forget it.
After World War II, Irene and Pat Goggans met, and the rest is, well, of course, history.
But then when he came out, we connected some kind of way. And I remember being at the Y, you know, that was a very vital activity point. And, well, it clicked. And oh boy, am I happy for that. It brought much joy to my life. And we were married on May 24th, 1947 at 1619 North 4th Street, the home of my Aunt Lizzie and Uncle Lolo Bishop. But then in the fall, we were blessed to move into the apartment of Carver Memorial Homes, that historic co-op that blacks had built in the 1800 block of North 4th Street. There were 10 units in there, and it was directly across the street from the old St. Michael's Hospital that later relocated to 24th and Villard, and down the street from St. Francis Catholic Church.
Details, details. That's what makes history. Irene remembers them all. In the 40s, when you were in Milwaukee, there weren't that many black folks living in Milwaukee at the time. And you seem to remember, or you knew, practically everybody.
Yeah, it was easy to know people because we were kind of concentrated. When we came here, I would say like Juneau Avenue was like the hub.
You have a wonderful memory. You seem to remember everything, dates, addresses. Is that because you collect all this material?
When I started this scrapbook or heritage books, as I call them, it was just interesting to me, and I've had the feeling that we as a race had been written out of history, so I was going to write it in.
But you started to say you thought about giving this up.
Yeah.
Well,
the people are still here. They're still doing things, and people need to know that. They need to be like Alex Haley's grandfather said, find the good and praise it. I'm so tired of all the negative news. We have beautiful people of all colors, but I'm especially interested in people of color.
But this is a lot of work to collect all this
stuff. It's a lot of work.
When are you going to say, I've done enough, I'm just going to sit back and...
Well, I guess when my eyes shall close in death, I probably will still be talking, or maybe come behind my casket and say, oh, I forgot to tell you, did I tell you the story of thus and so? It's so vivid to me, you know, maybe a picture or something that I've seen, and I just can't tell you how things connect up.
When you exercise, it makes you feel good. It's a great stress reliever, and many of us are under a lot of stress, so this is a great way to do it.
This is Ladies Wrokout Express, a gym design with women in mind. It's helpful to be in an environment with others similar to you, and being involved in a formal exercise program has benefits.
Of course, lose weight, makes you feel great. This is a great way to relieve stress. We have so many women who have taken on so much that, they need this. Reduce high blood pressure. There are a lot of women who are no longer taking high blood pressure medication or diabetes medication as a result of exercise. What we do here is called circuit training, which is what this is here. It's weight-bearing exercises in addition to a cardiovascular workout. It takes 30 minutes to do the circuit. You're going to work every muscle group in your body at least 4 times. The equipment that we have here is hydraulic equipment, so it's based on a push-pull motion. So it's very easy on your joints, and the faster you push and pull, the more resistance you're going to feel. So you're in control of what you're doing. So it's a very easy way to get started with working out. Also, we do Zumba here. We do regular Zumba classes, we do Zumba toning classes, and also we do Zumba Gold. And Zumba Gold is a Zumba class for older women or people who are sedentary, just starting out to work out. So we have a class for them as well. Zumba means join the party. So anybody can do Zumba, whether you're old, young, have not worked out in a while, because basically you're going to move, you're only going to do what you can do. So anyone can do Zumba. So it's easy, it's fun, it's a great way to sculpt and tone your body. You can burn between 600 to 1,000 calories doing Zumba.
I've lost 160 pounds, and I walked in and said, please work me out, and Sherry did just that. And so first I started on the circuit, and then when I got a more stressful job and needed to do other things, I did the Zumba and the circuit and walked to the gym every morning.
I have lost weight, I have toned up, and my mood is better, and my stress is less, and I'm happier and more joyful.
To what degree are the physical and mental health connected?
As women, we typically take on so much, and what we have a tendency to do is when someone gets sick, we give up our exercise and we don't take care of ourselves. So this is a great way to keep ourselves mentally and physically going.
Such a stress reliever. It's a great way to relax yourself and not have to eat or go have a drink after work, but come and work out and relax yourself. It's really great.
I'm a church pastor, and I work a lot of hours, and part of my work is helping people manage their stress. It's part of what church is for. And so when I come here, it's the workout, it's the people, it's Sherry, who's amazing and supportive, and that just helps me be better at everything I do.
Anyone can lose weight. It's about monitoring what you're eating. It's about drinking water and exercising. And it takes us a while. We want quick fixes, and that's not how that works. What you have to do is, just take care of your body and then just be patient, because it will come off, because it took us a while to put the weight on, and it's going to take a while to take the weight off.
My doctor's really, really proud of me. I lost a lot of weight too. They was worried about me because I was a diabetic. I was taking insulin. Now I don't take any insulin. I manage it with my diet and exercise.
Can I ask, how much weight did you lose?
About 50 pounds.
Again, see your doctor or a nutritionist, and they can modify depending on what your health issue is. So they're the ones that would modify that, and then we the ones would help you to lose the weight.
What are some of the biggest challenge to sticking with an exercise program?
Well, with exercise, you have to make it an appointment. You have to use exercise just like everything else. When you have a doctor's appointment, you know that appointment. So with exercise, it's the same thing. You have to set that appointment. So if you know that you're going to be here at 8:30 on Monday morning, you need to write that down and make an appointment for yourself, because your health is just as important as everything else that you do. I think that it's important for women to know that that our children are looking at us, and that we have to we have to be role models for them. And if we exercise, our children are going to exercise.
So role model for your family and get involved. Exercise for better health, and one way to do this is with Ladies Wrokout Express.
Well, you and I haven't talked since you won the Miss Black America pageant.
Yes.
We won't mention the year,
Oh, thank you.
but we know what year it was. And that was very exciting for you. But that was sort of the beginning of a career in music.
Right.
Did you expect, after you won that title, to be a professional musician, or did you expect that it was going to fade away and you were going to do something else?
You know what? I didn't know what to expect, but the first thing for me is my love for music. So whether I'm playing professionally or not playing professionally, music would have always been a really big, important part of it. And so I've always been drawn to great musicians. I always go and hear a lot of musicians. Went to Marcellus, and he was impressed with the beauty pageant thing. I was like, okay, all right, I'll go with that.
Lots of kids would like to be professional musicians like you. How do they do it?
Practice. What is that old saying about if you want to get to Carnegie Hall, you got to practice, practice, practice. That's probably the first thing. I think a lot of us have a love for it. A lot of us don't always necessarily have that spark or that thing that really gets it. So sometimes we can compensate by just putting in the extra work. For example, I got to work in the studio where the owner is friends with George Benson, and he tells me that George Benson practices 6 hours a day. And I'm like, this man is brilliant. Why is he still practicing? But there's something about that drive. So you really have to, A, love it, love practicing, and be willing to expect the unexpected. Because some of us hit, some of us don't.
I know you wrote one song for your mother. Did she like it?
Well, unfortunately, my mother passed before, and she had told me, Sonya, please write a song for me. I said, okay, Mother, I'll get to it. And circumstances, well, I know my mother's watching down on me because my life has just been too blessed lately. So I know that there's a lot of my family and my ancestors taking a peek and just guiding me along on this process. But yeah, she didn't get to hear it, but I think she would really be honored.
What lesson did you learn from procrastinating and not doing it in time?
Well, let's say I think every song that I wrote honors my family. So it didn't necessarily, I'm like, Mom, don't worry about it. I mean, not every musician writes a song for their family. And I know she asked me, and maybe I was being selfish, but now like I said, I just felt the need to actually complete these things. My mother asked, so I had to answer.
Does it take a long time to make an album?
I see other people doing stuff, and if you're not in it, you can't win it. I'm sorry, that's a corny phrase. But the other one is you just have to do it. So if you don't do the project and either succeed or fail and succeed, whatever that process is, you just have to keep doing it.
If you weren't playing the violin, what would you do?
I think, I don't know, I might have to give up the ghost because it's just, it's so ingrained in me. I've been playing since I was 9 years old, so, and that's the way I hear things. The way I write is for my instrument. The way I think is for my instrument. The way I hear is for my instrument. So that's a good question. I think I'll have to expand myself a little bit more just in case if I couldn't do that.
Maybe you'd want to teach?
I am teaching. I've been teaching for 17 years. I've done elementary, middle, and high school, and I love it.
What's the most fun?
What you get back and what you give. I mean, the process is always a give and take, and I've learned so much from teaching young children, and they're so sweet.
Are you glad to be home?
Every time I come back to Milwaukee, I realize that, number one, I live in New York, and it's extremely hectic there. It's in the air, everybody's frazzled, nobody has time to stop and smell the roses or talk to their friends or go hang out and enjoy good food. I mean, they go out, but everything's for a reason. And in Milwaukee, it's just nice to know that you can really be relaxed here and still get things done. The tempo is just a little slower, which is sweet, so I love it, I love it. I'm thinking about moving back here.
That was going to be my next question. Will you ever move back here?
I've been seriously thinking about it, but not right now.
To you and your family, we would like to extend best wishes for the holiday season from the Black Nouveau family. And that's our program for this week. For Black Nouveau, I'm Joanne Williams. Thanks for joining us.